All right, we have two more things I want to do with you guys. Well, I guess it's technically three, but one of them we've already done. I want to eliminate the redundancy that I see here because these are all dark, and I want to rotate these panels, and I want to extrude these panels so that it gets a little bit of thickness. And normals are going to be really important because the normals determine the thickness, direction, the extrusion as we rotate the panels. Ying, you look so lost.
No.
All right. Don't worry. You'll see it. You'll see it when I do it. Okay. So here's the extrusion. Right. The extrusion came in with 50 subdivided panels. Right. That we extruded outwards. It also came in with 50 amplifications. So, excuse me. The 50 where did I pull that from? Back there. Just one normal. Okay. The 50 amplifications is something that we're going to have to modify in order to get back to a singular vector, right? So the good thing is all of these panels have essentially one vector. And it happens to also be on the original surface. So instead of the vector I used here, I'm going to use my original, I think it was this one. Yeah. No. How many packets do I have? 50 individual packages. I might be lazy here, guys. Tracing them all back. Yeah, I'm just going to be lazy. Since all the vectors are going in the same direction, I know that this facade is all going to be flat in all cases here. I can just grab one of the vectors and that'll be enough. So what I'll do is go to Set, List, and List Item. And I'm just going to set a static value for, it doesn't really matter what number it's going to be, but the first index item that's possible is a 0. And I'll plug that in, and I'll plug my vector in. And the key here is, see how it's coming out with 5 values? The key is to make sure that you flatten the list so that it reads as one giant list, and we pull one value from it. Flatten, and then plug that vector, right? Now we only have one vector. Plug that vector into D. Sorry, not into D. Actually, yes. Yeah, plug it into D. That's good. And so now we can reduce the length of the louver. And one might actually not be good. Let's make it a percentage slider, so I'll do a 0.55 to maybe 3, I guess. I don't know. Delete that, plug in this, and now we've got smaller louvers. We can go a little less than a foot. What questions do you have so far? Did I lose anyone yet? I don't believe your silence. I'll pause and make sure you guys are caught up. Oh, where did I leave off? Okay, we have, so we have our extrusions. We reduced the length of them so that they're reasonably deep, I guess you could say. The next thing I need to do is essentially create a thickness for them. Okay, so there are a couple of things that we're eventually going to create thickness for, but I want to really stress how important normals are because we're going to measure the normal direction of every single one of these louvers so that when we rotate them, they retain their thickness in the proper orientation. Making sense? Okay, so we have to borrow again these three things right here. And just plug your extrusions into them in the surface inputs. And to test that it's mapped to all of them, you can turn on your evaluate surface and just look that it should look something like this. And then we will extrude again with another amplify. So it's right now it's a whole lot of copying, really. Copy, paste, bring this amplify in, and we'll plug in the normal for our vector, and then plug the vector into direction. And again, we're off to the races. Wait, hold on. I missed something here. Oh, the geometry is wrong. So let me grab the original extrusions that I'm trying to extrude, and that would be these. And make sure your... Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. Okay, make sure it's really, really small. So your louver should look something like this. I know it's hard to see on your screen, but it should look like that essentially after you do all this. Pretty quick, right? Took just like a minute and a half now. We're getting good at this, right? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna stop this video, and then in the next video, the next and last video for tonight, I'm gonna show you how to rotate these louvers.